My name is Dalia and welcome to my channel. Before we start, let's a disclaimer. With disclaimer, we're done. Let's begin. So, from the title of a video, you might be having a little bit of some of the questions. So I will have to little bit tell about myself. So, I born in the Common Republic. In that republic, the official language was the Russian language. So yes, since the day I learned how to speak, I could properly speak Russian language. But not only that, I could speak Lithuanian. Why? Because I was from, and I am, from a mixed family. My father is Lithuanian, and my mother is half Ukrainian and Polish. I do not really know how to speak the Polish and Ukrainian, but I a little bit understand the language. If people speaking quite slowly, I might not be able to have a proper conversation with those people. However, simple conversation, and if I have little questions, yeah, I can communicate. Obviously, Lithuanian, I can speak very well. So, when I turned 5 years old, my parents decided to migrate to Lithuania. So when I was about 5-6 years old, we already was living in Lithuania. And back there, I was also going to the nursery. Sounds everything is okay, right? But there is one detail. Then I was living in a Common Republic. Yes, at home, my grandparents from my father's side was teaching me Lithuanian, right? And I still remember one little sentence which he was keep telling me. He said, you cannot speak Lithuanian outside, but only at home. And actually, very similar sentence he told me when we was already living in Lithuania. He was telling me, you cannot speak Russian outside. You have to speak only Lithuanian. Yes, it's a little bit confusing thing, right? When you are even a child, it's even more complicated. However, I was so little bit kind of, you might say, scared a little bit. So I was doing exactly what the grandparent was telling me to do. Yes, so, but then you are a child and you are getting to the puberty age, right? And this is the age when you are growing, your character is changing, your body, the hormones, all this kind of things around, and you trying to be you even want to be a part of like a group, gang of people. You want to be acknowledgeable by other people, be recognizable by other people. So when I was going to the school in Lithuania, yes, of course, my Lithuanian get better because I was going to the school and everything was okay. And yes, I was talking to the girls, I was trying to make friends. But however, I was getting certain feeling inside me and also some comments around the group of people. You do speak Lithuanian. Your surname is Lithuanian. However, you're not really proper Lithuanian. This type of sentence and comments I was getting towards me. And everything would be fine. And maybe by the time that will be fed away. The feeling that you a little bit feel like you are not really proper the part of community in some point, right? But there's a similar situation happened when I turned 10 years old. My parents decided to visit the grandma. So we was going to the Common Republic. We met, everything was going well, we have a little party, food, this and that, music, communication, and I was going outside to play with the kids. My actually language of Russian, vocabulary was a little bit worse than I expected. So when I was having a little simple conversation, everything was going well. However, difficult conversation, I started hearing very similar comments. You do speak Russian, and you even look like Russian, but you're not Russian. You're behaving a little bit different. And of course, when I was trying to have more difficult conversation, my accent show up, obviously, right? Yes, so even there, I felt, I do not really feel like, part of community, and everything would be totally fine. However, this type of feeling, I was keep feeling even in the school, in university, because around me was people from that and that culture, speaking that and that language. Because I wanted to be recognizable by other people of certain culture, I was starting to feel shy about one part of my culture. I was trying even to hide that I know certain language, this or that. Yes, now I understand it was a little bit wrong to do that. You shouldn't be shy of part of your culture. You just have to be proud of it and be happy and feeling lucky that, wow, you know more than one language. Yes, but now if I would have a time machine, I would go back and tell myself. However, it's in the best. Anyway, and this type of feeling, I was keep feeling quite a long of time in my life. I was feeling a stranger among strangers and a stranger among my own kind. It was very disturbing, I may say, the feelings crossing my mind. Even sometimes I felt like it's inside my body. I do not really remember exactly the day when I was start not feeling anymore that way. I probably grow up from that. I guess so. Here, I am a stranger among the strangers. I do not belong to this culture, but I know the language. And actually, nobody really cares where I'm from. Yes, I get some questions. Obviously, since the first day I came here, I had a question. Where are you from? And I was actually always confused what to answer. Am I have to say the country where I born or the country where I grow up? However, I felt also most confusion when I was going to the classes of language. I was going to study Korean language, and there teacher was asking me, where are you from? And then I felt again confusion. I didn't know what to answer, and I asked her, which country are you supposed to say? The country where I was born or the country where I grew up? And she said to me, well, in this question you have to answer from which country you came. And even that question, I didn't know what to answer, to be honest. Because honestly speaking, I felt that I am from both of those countries. Because I am part of both cultures. I do know both of the languages. And I'm from a mixed family. So by the time, again, in my life, there was a lot of group of people from specific cultures. They were speaking specific languages. But things was changing. I didn't felt any more shame. I was actually very feeling proud. And I was even trying to speak more that specific language with those people and finding things from my childhood, the past, to communicate with other people about music, about the food, about the dishes, and all those type of things, which one is really famous from both of the cultures, both of the countries. Fascinating, yeah? So it was part of my process of growing from becoming from child to teenager and adult, having a feeling of a struggle, which language I have to speak at the moment, struggle to answer the questions where you're from and who you are, then I finally became an adult. Now I actually answering very simple, depending on situation. If I speak with certain people with certain perspective of view, life or any other specific views to the life, I choose very carefully what type of answer I have to give. So I have a question for you. Not only people who are mixed like me, but I have a question for all of you who is watching my videos. Did you ever had this type of feelings in your past? Maybe you're feeling it until now. Maybe you felt it and finally you get rid of shame, denying feelings of your culture. Are you finally feel proud that you are mixed and you're actually loving it, all the part of a culture you are mix of it? I'm really curious. We all have this type of confusion sometimes in life. We're all going through the growing process as well. However, conclusion of this video, I believe we shouldn't be feeling shame or feeling unhappy that we are from the cultures where we are from. We actually have to loving it, enjoying it, feeling proud, happy, and appreciating. I think so. Because, in every country there is the bad and good people, and each person, they are not completely bad or good. Every culture, every country, and every person, we're a mix of something, right? And we have to loving it and feel proud. So, I hope you like this video. Leave me a comment, put like, and see you around. Bye bye.